Hello! Today we'll talk about manual output overrides and the OntoAuto feature for your GHK controller. For more comfortable working conditions, or if an emergency situation develops, any output may be turned on manually, say to turn on your cools for 20 minutes while you work in the greenhouse. The video will cover how to manually override your heats and cools, as well as set the OntoAuto timer for automatically switching those outputs back to automatic mode. First, to manually override your outputs, simply repeatedly press the button for your desired output, for example, Cool 1, until the screen shows on. By pressing Enter when the screen is showing on, it will turn your Cool 1 output on. You can also do the same for any of your other outputs, for example, a Zone 2 Heat 2 output. Now, keep in mind that this will bypass the safety measures for your controller, which means that you could end up with heats and cools on at the same time, like I just did, which would be redundant and also waste electricity. Whenever you change a heat or cool away from the auto setting and onto the on setting, it will remain there until the OntoAuto timer runs out. If you were unaware of this feature, it might be confusing how your outputs would constantly turn back to auto without you doing anything. By default, the controller comes set with OntoAuto as 15 minutes, but you could change it to anywhere between 1 minute and 23 hours and 59 minutes, as well as you can turn it to 0 to make it never switch back to auto. To change your OntoAuto settings, press Menu until OTOA shows up. There it is, and then press Enter to enter the setup. Here, you can enter your desired value from 1 minute to 23 hours and 59 minutes. Hours on this side, minutes there. Right now it's on 10 minutes. Let's do 30 minutes. That way, once we turn this cool on again, then after 30 minutes, it will turn back to auto. So once you enter your value, you can press Enter to confirm. As a side note, you can at any time you can use the reset function in the menu to instantly switch all auto outputs back to auto. So let's let it time out first, and then we will demonstrate that. So currently, you can see that Cool 1 is set to on, as well as, I set that back to off. So let's turn that back on, press Enter. Heat 2, you'll see, is on. And now we can put those both at the same time back to auto by pressing Menu, Reset, and then pressing Enter. Now if we go back to Cool 1, you'll see it's back at auto, same as Heat 2 is back at auto. So, with the OntoAuto feature enabled and suited to your greenhouse, you can now take advantage of manual overrides without the risk of forgetting to turn outputs back to auto. And that's all. For a quick refresher or to look at any other processes, remember that we have the full manual available online, and it's also linked in the description. You can find this particular process on page 20. Remember that if you had any trouble throughout this process, we are always available by phone and email for support. Remember to like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter or Instagram for the latest updates and information. We also have an e-newsletter for other information and tips, and you can see many other tutorials on our YouTube channel for other issues you might have. Thanks!